As you take a deep breath in, feel yourself relaxing into that bed, sinking, feeling safe, surrounded by this beautiful vibration. And as you listen to this vibration, what does this remind you of?
Me straight back to a walk that I was having yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and I came across a huge tree, and I looked at one of the, it wasn't the branch, it was the trunk of the tree,
Yes.
and it looked like a very big limb. So I started stroking the limb, and then I realized how ancient it was, and I just placed my hand on the limb and I started connecting deeply with the tree. And then the tree started communicating with me, and I could feel its energy, and it came up like thick porridge waves, like a sago pudding almost. And it took me straight back to Peru, the second time I channeled in front of all of you. And that was the universal energy. And so it told me that I can channel. All I need to do is connect my 3D and my etheric being with nature, and then that energy and that wisdom through the ages will come through me and ground me and protect me and enhance me. And it told me, it said, just look at me, look at my limbs, look at my branches. I've been snowed on, I've been hailed on, I've had sunshine, I've had rain, I've had wind, and I'm still here, and I'm radiating, and I'm pulsing to all the others and all the humans that walk through avenues of trees have no idea that they're actually being bombarded with energy, with streams of energy. And if they take but a moment to actually stand still, they will be showered through their structure, through their energy vessel, with information, with the wisdom, and with the guidance that so many are seeking. We are here for you. We are here for you in your solitude. For when one is gibbering and jabbering, as one walks through nature, one is not connecting. When one has headphones on and walking through nature, one is disconnected. And so we say, what is it that you desire? What is it that you wish for at this time of the quickening? For the quickening is upon you all. And you dither and you dather and you gamble every night, gambling. And when we say gambling, we speak about gambling with your time. For you do not know your departure date. And how are you connecting? Not only within, but with those around you. What if today, tonight, tomorrow, this month, this year is your last? What will the changes be that you need to make? And we told this one yesterday. This is a completion year. This is a number 7. We need you to attend to the tasks at hand, all the unfinished jobs, all the things that are filling your mind that you know what it is that you need to do, whether it is tidying out a laundry cupboard, whether it is clearing a yard, whether it is giving away all the old toys that your child no longer plays with, whether it is the conversations that need to be said that are currently unsaid, tying up unfinished business.
So as we talk about the unfinished business, the completion year, many who hear this may feel a little bit scared because everyone thinks, well, what would happen to me? What do you say to those that are feeling fearful about leaving this earth with things unfinished?
That is why we are saying and clearing our throat. What is it that they need to cough up?
Mm-hmm.
What is it that they are not coughing up? What is it that they are holding? For the more they hold, the more the building will creak and groan. So we want to speak about fear, but we want to speak about what we showed this one about the term measuring up. How are you measuring up in your life? So if somebody says, well, they just don't measure up, it means that they are just not doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're not pulling up their socks. They are disappointment. And to measure something is on scales until you get a balance. And it is reconciling what is out, what is up, what is down. An auditor and an accountant, they look at the books. Where's there a deficit? Where's there a credit? And then we speak about lowering the tone. And all of you are a tone, a musical note. And so we cough again and we say, where is the heaviness in the tone? And we want you to look at your structure and remind you that you are a hotel with a penthouse and you have a basement and you have conversations with many. You have words with many. And then those words get lodged lodged inside, things that upset you. And then another set of words come, and they get lodged as well. Do you see how it's like books being balanced by an auditor?
Yes.
Is there a debit? Is there a credit? And so more words, more words, more words, more conversations. And we speak about squatters and lodgers. The lodgers are being lodged, and something gets lodged in a ledger. So there's a huge analogy here to show you how this works. Now you have so many squatters in your hotel, so many lodgers that you have decided to allow to enter and squat in your hotel and lodge. That now your hotel is starting to groan. Your hotel is starting to creak. The floor's about to give way. The walls are beginning to crack and crumble. And yet you are still holding the lodges and you are bringing in more. And what have you done with your words to another? Who is lodging your words? Who is holding on in their minds, in their 3D, and not letting go? That's why we call it unfinished business. This is supposed to be a free-flowing vessel. When it is free-flowing, you are light because you do not have any lodges lodged in your vessel. There are no squatters. So all the systems run smoothly. And when they run smoothly, your lift can go up and down. Ascension. You are your own ascension. You are the roadblock to your ascension with your unfinished business. And yet you asked us the question that many are fearing. What if they lose their life? But what is the life that they are living now? Full of squatters. Is this a heavy life, or is this a light life? When they get rid of the unfinished business and they have a year of completion, they will be a light being, a lighter version of themselves, of what they are now. And we are dropping in many downloads, many photonic structures to our light workers throughout this earth plane at this time, in order for them to dislodge the lodges so that they can work quicker, smoother, faster, and be where they need to be. So then there will be no fearing. For they came here at this time to ascend and to help with ascension. And everybody's talking about ascension. But how does one ascend when one is still holding, having all these heavy rocks in their path everywhere, trying to traverse, trying to climb through, trying to get to the top? It takes a long time climbing over all those boulders, when in actual fact, they were the ones that allowed the boulders in the first place. And we remind you of what James said. Who or what do you invite into your life that you now have to disinvite? And we are showing this one an image of a body, and like a bodysuit, like a meat suit, and a zip from the top to the bottom. And we would like people, humans, to get their fingers and unzip and open up, like surgery, like they see in the TV shows when somebody's having open heart surgery and they crack all the ribs and they pull them apart. We want them to pull themselves apart and look where the lodges are and release them. Let them go. This is a time for weightlessness. This is not a time for weight bearing, but this is a time for bearing one's soul. And as one holds conversations of unfinished business with colleagues, with loved ones, with departed ones, one releases. One does not have to have a positive reply from the one that they are communicating with the unfinished business. It does not matter what the other party says, what the other party comes back with, or whether the other party comes back at all. It is enough that you, the listener, have said what is in your heart. But please to remember, as you bear your soul, should you use words which are tones, which are vibrations and frequencies, are you now going to burden the other? For whatever you give out is the gift that you choose for yourself to come back. So as you go around completing your tasks, have that uppermost in mind. This is a time for new tunes, new music, new frequencies. We have uplifted you, not down lifted you, uplifted you. And Alba, do you have your 9th tone ready?
I do. Would you give the instructions, please?
So on this given day, the 9th tone, the 9th chakra, which connects them to us, to themselves, to their antennas, to the energy field, to the unfinished business. We would like you to play it 3 times with a pause in between each. We showed this one the triangle, which is the 3, which is the truth, which is the light, which is the way. And this will activate those that are listening today. So the truth of the matter. This is not a time for subterfuge anymore. They may be able to pull the wool over other people's eyes about a certain situation, but in their heart, they know the truth of any given situation, and their ego might be getting in the way This is not a time for ego. This is a time for release and letting go. So that's the truth side. The way through is connecting deeply inside with your tone, going with the frequency, like surfing the net. And then you have the light. Then the light will come in and they will lighten up. Thank you, Alba.
Very good. Are we doing 3 sets of these?
Yes, please.
Very good. All right. So, all of the listeners, if you would just close your eyes for a moment and just take a deep breath in.
Alba, before we finish with the last 3, could
Yes.
everybody please put their hand across their forehead over their third eye? And could they please put the other hand over their heart, with their arm going across the heart chakra?
Very good. Here's the 3rd set.
And Alba,
Yes.
as they do this, a crystalline grid is being set.
Very good. Here we go.
And it's going to go through from all that is. I can see it. Right, going right through the third eye, activating within the heart. And it's pure crystalline. Thank you.
Thank you. What has happened?
There's been a new grid that has just been set, and from that it's connected right through like a torus field, right to every listener, but I can see the earth, and it's gone right around the earth, and it's got a whole layer, and then it's got a beam, like a laser beam, going straight up, straight up, straight up, and the light that's coming from there, it's just pulsing. It is so, 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 so strong, and it's coming through for protection because there's warring ahead, Alba.
Yes, can you tell me more about that? Jill and I were discussing this before we got on the call, and there's some work to be done by many of us.
Europe.
For those who are listening in Europe, especially, would you tell us what's happening?
If they are in Europe, that's because they're the crystalline grid. They need to be there. They need to stand tall. They need to be pillars of strength. For much is coming. I hear horses galloping like thundering hooves, thundering thunder, thunder, lightning, earth heaving, tanks, missiles, fire in the sky, red crosses everywhere, tents, flags, and then an absolute stillness, a stillness. People are shocked. And then the birds slowly come back. All the birds disappeared. And there are wisps of smoke everywhere. And then the sun rises and people look around, and those that are left are shocked, so shocked. But we made this one wear this today. The cross. We gave her the sign of the cross. We showed her the red cross outside all those tents. And this cross is covered in crystal. And we've mentioned before the crossing, to watch for signs in the sky. And this is the time that is approaching now. But wherever there is a cross, there is a resurrection. And there is a time for living. And there is a time for dying. And that is why we say this is a year of completion. How many people have regrets on their deathbeds, Alba?
Many.
We do not wish for regrets. We wish for humanity to live while they still have breath. And yet, the greed and control of a few over the many are bringing forward circumstances that could be avoided if the people woke up to how they've passed their power across and over and under. And now the price of handing that freedom and power over has become too high, too great. Once again, we go back to the accountant, to the auditor, to the balancing. When do they lose the balance in their life? When do they lose the insight? So busy looking at the outside that they forgot to connect with themselves and take that quiet time to see what is truly important. And each time that the earth goes through these wars, afterwards there is a great resurgence, many new inventions, much is achieved. But when is humanity going to learn that much can be achieved without war by coming together? And so we built the crystalline grid today, because if one out of many were activated today, that activation of joy could reach millions, because so many think they are disconnected one from another, and yet they are all in the same vessel. So it is never too late. We showed you an image of a timeline, of a possibility. Will this be a probability? Only time will tell. And should this come to pass, how will you measure up?
Very good. Thank you.
How will your tone sound, Alba?
Yes. I have a question about that, because you do say it is probabilities, and I know that we have many different timelines. I was called to go to Los Angeles to work on that timeline. And it did take a toll on all of us that went there, because that was a lot of energy. And now I'm being called to go to Europe twice, not once, but twice in the next few months. What are we being called for? What am I being called for to go there this time?
Why are you being called to Europe, Alba? Is that your question?
Yes, because I know why now that I was called to Los Angeles to shift the timeline there to avoid disaster. But is there anything that I'm supposed to be doing in Europe?
Yes. Well, we've spoken before of how a timeline can shift. All it needs is a slither of a fly's wing.
Mm-hmm.
So it is very minute, and it's all about energy that goes in a particular wave, in a wave form, in quarks, in things that not everybody knows about, part of the quantum field, but yet it's very simple. Now, you have not been traveling much, correct?
Correct.
Right. So you have now felt the call for Europe, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Correct.
And to
Correct.
gather people together too.
Europe, if we had to have a look at your earth and got your globe and spread it out, we would say that Europe is the hot spot. That is where the focus is. And there's a saying that you use is, where your energy goes, everything flows.
Yes.
And a lot of people are worried about what's happening in Europe at the moment. So they are on edge. You are going to rally the troops. Those light beings, those light workers. And we're showing this one now. When she was in Peru, did she not see your headquarters in that big spaceship?
Yes.
And did she not say that everybody had to put their ankhs in the cogs
Yes.
and then get dispersed over your earth plane? These ones that will be meeting you in Europe, we are giving them special downloads, uploads, downloads. We'd actually like to use the word an upload, for it's coming from the bottom up, but it's also coming from the top down. So a top up, prop up, and it's a crystalline. We're showing her it looks like quartz crystal, and it's going all the way down into the earth. So we're also showing her Gandalf like a wizard with a staff, and he goes 1, 2, 3, and that energy and that power goes all the way through the earth. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be assisting us in activating their crystal grids, their laser beams, and consolidating and strengthening the areas in Europe, or there will be much warring there. The earth, Gaia, will be taking what's called or termed a battering, and they are like the protectors and the guardians of those particular areas. They are mitigating damage. They are helping, they are holding, they are the infrastructure. And you will be helping them to filter out what no longer serves them, getting rid of, as we spoke about earlier, pulling out, so that they can be the lightness of whom they need to be in order to do the job that they need to do. This one hardly ever wears earrings, but today we made her wear these crystal earrings to remind everybody that they are crystalline of structure. And we said a long time ago, we want this one to be clean and clear as crystal in order to receive the messages and transmit the messages. You will be their filter, Alba.
Mm-hmm.
That is why you recently had a filtering problem.
Okay.
So you will be there. You will be showing them how to filter, not to hold on.
Yes.
And they will be in the positions that they need to be. They will hear the calling, as you heard the calling to go to that land that you are now on with all your trees.
Yes.
They will have a calling. Some of them will be moving. They will be making plans to go to different areas on the earth plane. And they will be exactly where they need to be. When terrific warring comes, we have the ability to lift, literally to beam up a light worker in a nano and then put them back in another area. So there is nothing to fear. All is going according to plan, and all are where they need to be. Alba,
Yes.
after the session, you will have many going to your website and looking at your gathering of where it is going to be. Will your gathering not be in a place called Germany?
Yes.
So Germany was a big part of a war that you had on this earth plane called Second World War.
Yes.
Right. We are placing you particularly there. For you and this group will hold a special meditation for Germany, for the essence of Germany, for the vibration of Germany, for there is much shame that has been held in that generation for what the ancestors did. But it is a time for lifting, and it is a time for forgiving. For when one does not forgive, one holds. And so the reason you are in Germany is to lessen the warring, to remove the old scars, to move them across, to transmute them. And all the people that will be there from the star-seeded lineage will have the specific qualities that are needed to change. And they're telling me the word electromagnetics, the grid in that particular area has been a little bit stuck.
Yes.
So it's time for movement again in that area. This will lessen the collateral damage. All those that are going and will attend are specialists in their field, and together all your energy is needed to be able to give that area a clearance, Alba.
Very good. Yes. It's a big job, but I guess we have to do it.
Yes,
That's why we came here.
correct.
Very good. So now that those in Europe know that they are in for some action, what do you say to the others who are listening, who are in different parts of the world that are also dealing with movements of the earth, earthquakes, and those natural disasters that are displacing people? What do you say about that topic, about the earth changes?
Well, we told this one many years ago, at least 20 years ago, that the earth would tilt on its axis and there would be water everywhere. Birds and animals would have to adapt, and so would humans. Where there was land, there won't be land, and where there wasn't land, there's going to be land. new foodstuffs will come. However, much of the disruption will reveal much to you. And that is when the people will get their power back, when they are shown who or what they truly are. So, although there will be what is termed devastation, there will also be huge celebration. And please to remember that we have seen a landslide victory to the people. This has been like a boil building and building. This warring is going to reveal much. It is going to expose the power players, the play of the power, and those that are scattered far and wide, who are not going to be in direct line with the warring, will be able to have a stillness, be like this one, lean against a tree, connect with the earth, ask those trees to go and send a message to all the other trees, all the root systems, and hold tight, hold together, work with nature. Don't work against it. And then, Alba, we would like you to have what is termed a Zoom session, a meditation for all the nations. And you have many nations listening on your platform. Let them all come forward. Let those ones that feel the connection hold the space for their country, their town, their village, their people. Do not ever underestimate the value of coming together, of collaboration. And then in that meditation, we will encircle the globe. You know, Alba, on your Discourse book, on the back page, you have the picture of the globe, of the earth.
Yes,
And
yes,
around it, you have the 12 disciples.
yes.
Call them in, hold their hands, go around them, go in front of them. We want 3 circles. Once again, the truth and the way and the light. For no matter what happens, this is a reminder that this is nothing but an adventure of one lifetime, one musical note. Your listeners are an orchestra, and yet they only hear one note. They have many notes still to play in many lands, many planets, many solar systems. It is time for them to remember who they truly are.
Very good. We've discussed quite a few things today. Is that everything that you wanted to talk about, or are there any other subjects that you wanted to bring up?
We just wish to mention water, Alba.
Yes.
Water is such an important commodity for humans, for without it there is no life. So we wish everybody listening to this to pour themselves some water, but this time to hold it and to actually speak to it, thank it for its living life. And as they drink it, that frequency frequency of gratitude and abundance will filter in and fill them up and help us with our job, that as we send down the photons to them, they will be easily absorbed. Many forget about the water, and when they are feeling out of sorts, rest themselves in a tub of water, in a bathtub, or go into a lake or go to the sea. And if they have none of those, stand in the rain or take a shower. And as they do this, imagine everything that no longer serves them filtering away, washing away. Bless all the experiences that came through the vessel, both good and what they term bad, but the bad they've learned from. But we want their emotions to flow through them, not to be the outcome, but to flow through them and not hold anymore. This is not a year for squatting and holding squatters. This is a year for flowing, and water flows. Thank you, Alba.
Thank you. I'd like to expand a little bit about that water, just to make a statement of the experience that I had with water. Jill had mentioned a woman, Veda Austin, who photographs water. She freezes it and she photographs it. And the water just is, it gives you photographs of what's going on in your life. It's almost like it looks like a Polaroid where it would just copy whatever you put over it. And the times that I froze my water and took pictures of it, it actually was talking about what was going on my land that only I would know. So I was really shocked to find out that water does know everything that's going on everywhere, that there is a connection and that we are all water. So with that, being that you talk about the flow of it, this now has changed my way of thinking totally about water, how it has intelligence, it can speak with you, and you can speak with it, and it is alive. So with that statement of you saying that we need to be in the flow, what can we truly think about in order for us to heal ourselves with water? What's the formula?
Nothing other than gratitude, which is thanks, for this vessel. For this vessel is water.
Yes.
And this is a watery planet. And every thought and every emotion. And we want you to look at emotion. E is the energy, and then it's motion. So it's energy in motion. If the energy is not in motion, Alba, I want the listeners to remember a time when they've seen water that has not been in motion and it becomes a cesspit.
Mm-hmm.
It's
It
just
smells.
stagnant,
Mm-hmm.
it's dank, it's dark, and it's smelly. That's what they are doing to these systems when they do not allow the flow, when they've put all the lodges and the squatters into their hotel. Then it's dank, it's dark, it's stagnant, nothing grows, they don't have flow. So they need to know themselves. Stop lying to themselves about situations. Let it go. And this pure vessel, how does the human speak to itself, which is water? Now that we know it has got innate wisdom, we told this one, so does fire,
Yes.
so does earth. Water, fire, earth, and the air, the wind, and the ancients spoke to the elements and commanded the elements.
Mm-hmm.
They called the rain in. When did you become so disconnected from who you are, from your power? This one, yesterday, for the first time, connected with a tree, but the trees have always been there. And she said to herself, how could I have been so disconnected from what's right there? And yet, how can people be so disconnected from within, from this very vessel? What are they doing? They are being fed distractions by the controllers and the films and the influencers and the televisions and the shows and the sports. So many distractions. And the more that you are distracted, the less you see. But this 3D vehicle is your Merkaba coming through with your form. This is your emotion. You are an emotion. You are energy. You are energy in motion. Alba, are the listeners in motion? Or are they stagnant?
Mm-hmm.
Only they can answer. Every single body part that hurts, every wound, every illness is their body speaking to them, crying out for help, saying you're not paying attention to me, to the soul, to the higher self, to the guides, to the self. And they are saying, the body parts, look at me, look at me. The emotion of each body part, the hurt connected to the emotion. It's time for them to follow their road maps and see where it leads them. Is it serving them, the emotions that they are holding, or is their body falling to pieces from all the holding? The infrastructure can't support it anymore. This one did a session on somebody a few days ago, and she was shown by her guides for all your listeners to look at their feet. How big are their feet as opposed to their entire body? And those feet are supporting that body. Every single step they take, every job they do, every walk, every enjoyment, They wouldn't be able to run and play. They wouldn't be able to do their sport. They wouldn't be able to go into nature. They wouldn't be able to hold their children. When do they ever stop to give thanks to their feet? The souls.
Good one.
It is time, Alba, to give thanks for what one has. One might, in their eyes, decide they don't have a perfect body. Well, what are they feeding it? Are they exercising it? Are they giving it fresh air? Like plants. Plants need water.
Yes.
This body needs water. This human body needs exercise and movement. If you don't take a dog out, it's going to get big and fat and lazy. And yet the humans who are big and fat and lazy, and then they get more problems, and then they get knee problems, and yet they have the power to change it, to make them working well again. But they don't think they're worthy.
Yes.
Their self-esteem has taken a dive because of somebody else's words that have lodged in them. Time to get rid of the lodges and realize that they are here right now because they are the chosen ones. It is time for the chosen ones to wash their hands of all the nonsense and get up and do their job, which is to look after themselves. Self first, self-service, service to self. This is not selfish. This is the biggest gift they could give anybody else, is to look after the self, because then they will be full of energy and vitality, and they will be able to do so much more for everybody else when they have served self first.
Wonderful. Very good. Is there anything else, or do you feel that we are complete for today?
Oh, Alba, I think we are more than complete.
Very good. So, what would you like to call this session?
We want to say so much. We want to call it so many names.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for Ascension.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Good enough for me. So I'd like to thank those of you who have been connecting with Jill. Who have we been speaking with today?
She has the 12 disciples with her today, and they are smiling, and she has Archangel Michael, her brother, up on the side, and he's just grinning, and he's got his thumb up. He says, good job, good job.
2 and 3, eyes open. Welcome back.
Hi.
Wow. Didn't see that coming.
No. Oh boy. Dear.
Amazing.
Even Ted's come to say hello. Hello, Ted. Hello, baby. Hello.
So Jill, at the end, the concept of water just made full circle for me, because I realized what we learned from Veda Austin
Yeah.
was that water is an intelligence. It does know what's going on. It will give you back whatever you give it, like a Polaroid, basically. And so how we talk to it, how we think about the water, which is us, really imprints on us. And when we breathe, we're breathing out the water. So we are sharing that. When we pee the water into the earth, and we're sharing that, as it goes down the toilet or wherever. And so we are in constant, our water is in constant motion. with what we think.
When
Yes, we breathe.
breathe out, if your hand like that and you speak, moisture there, right?
Yeah,
Because all
say
you
that
have to do is
again. Say that again because you're breaking up.
if you put your hand in front of your mouth and you speak in like I'm speaking now, you can actually feel the words battering against your hand. So those
Yes,
words are a physical vibration and they are damp. And the reason you know they're damp is because so many people were wearing those masks and they became really damp, right?
yes,
So
yes.
that's moisture again, water, and
Mm.
that's going to others. It's
Yes,
filtering all the time. So
yes.
if you're not feeling great about yourself, the vibration that you're sending is telling everybody else, I'm not worthy, so you can treat me badly.
Hmm.
And so that's the gift that comes back.
Yeah, amazing.
Instead of being shoulders back, I've been chosen at this
Hmm.
time to be here, otherwise, I wouldn't be here. I have breath. I
Hmm.
do not have to actually do anything else. Anything else that I get given or do is a bonus.
Hmm. Hmm.
Time to realize how special you are. And nobody's more special than you because nobody has your tune, nobody has your musical note. And without them playing their note, our song just wouldn't be the same.
Hmm. That's
We
right.
need all those tones to make it beautiful.
That's it. That's it. Wow. That was amazing, Jill.
Oh,
So I guess we have a big task in Germany to do. And you know, the first place I'm landing is in Prague, which is the heart of Europe. And so that's the first place where I'll be spreading my energy. Is the We're just passing through, but it seems that everywhere I go, I do want to visit Bremen. That's been on my mind very much because of the atrocities that were done there. They
yeah, I
basically
didn't even know
leveled,
that.
yes, they leveled down that city for 3 days. So I want to visit Bremen and pay my respects and uh, sound some tuning forks there and get some vibration going, just to pass through. And then in Hamburg, we're going to meet with the
They've
light
just,
workers.
they've just shown me when you go there
Yes.
and you do that, you're
Hmm.
going to be releasing the trapped
Yes.
souls
Yes.
that were caught there and died,
Yep.
and they will have their
Yeah.
ascension.
That's why I'm going there. I, I know that from my gut. That's why I need to go there, is to release those souls that died there because they were all in shock. So Bremen to me is we're going to just pass through, um, and then in Hamburg meet with the light workers for a gathering. I'm very excited about that,
What
and
date is that, Alba?
that is October 7th, 2023, exactly a week before my birthday.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then we'll be going to the Netherlands for. I'll be joining Antonio Sanjo for the introspective hypnosis class. So hopefully we'll bring a lot of other for that class there too. So that will be October 15th for a week. So I'm excited. I'm excited. I know I've got some work ahead and I feel it, and it is a lot of completion here for me too. I'm getting a lot of things done very quickly to kind of do whatever I need to do here to get myself on the road to do all these tasks this year.
It's so fascinating because you know that that book that I channeled just after I met you for the first time, and it was just like done in 3 months,
Yes.
and yet I hadn't finished it, hadn't finished it, hadn't finished it. And yesterday, Greg said to me, well, what have you got on your plate? What else do you have to do? And I said to him, I have to get that book published. This
Yes.
is what I now need to do. And I
Mhm.
thought, wow, that's a year of completion, isn't it?
That
Amazing.
is. That is. I have a big list on my wall right in front of my bathroom. Every time I leave the bathroom, I see it of all the things I still need to complete for me to feel good. And so they're being checked off very quickly. So yeah.
But Alba, if I could tell you about that tree yesterday, I now actually see what energy looks like.
Mm.
And it was the same color that it was in Peru. It comes through sort of like red,
Wow.
red, and it's got so many almost like little pixelations that it's do you know how when you see a huge swarm of birds and they all fly together,
Yeah.
it's like, and they start swooping, but I'm talking hundreds of birds, and you go, how do they not even collide into each other?
Right.
So you know that kind of movement,
Hmm.
that's what they've got. They've got that movement in the red, and it almost seems to come up from here, and
Oh, red is
and
the root
waves like heat
chakra.
waves.
The root chakra is red, represented with the color red. The root chakra.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
So and it waves. It's like vibrating. It's such a brute. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is phenomenal. I'm sorry, blew me
And,
away.
and I started this session with
Oh
you
gosh,
today with the root chakra, the tuning fork for the root chakra. I started with you today.
oh gosh, oh,
Yeah,
it's wonderful.
that's
Thank you.
great.
Thanks for thinking of doing this again. That was
Yeah, it's
interesting.
been a long time. And I want to thank all of the listeners who are here today. I know that this was a pretty emotional one because there's a lot of work that's going to need to be done as far as keeping keeping the light workers on a high vibration as things happen on Earth. But we've got to follow our gut. When something tells us move, we got to go, and when something tells us face something, you got to face it. So I think this is a good session for those people that came here for this. We came here for this.
They'll be able to face most things.
Yes.
They've finished their business
Yes. So
because they won't
guys,
be anymore.
take care of your business. Write down all of the things you want to accomplish really fast. The main stuff you haven't done. If it means picking up the phone and calling someone that you haven't talked with for a long time and you just want to tell them you love them. If you want to do get some things done, maybe take that trip you haven't taken with your kids, and you want to spend time with them. Do that. Do the things that you really later you're not going to regret, and you say, I should have just done that. I should have taken a weekend and just gone camping with the kids. Things like that you want to feel like no regrets. So it should be simple things. We're not talking about buy the house that you wanted and things like that. These are things that you want to accomplish to where you could say, yeah, I did it. So that's my idea. Pick up the phone, tell someone you love them, let them hear your voice, not on text, not on an email. Let them hear you, and if you can visit them, that'd be even better. So that's what I have to say. What do you say to everybody, Jill, as we wrap up?
Yeah, I was just shown that to ascend, for ascension, to ascend means to rise above, to lift up. And so rise above a situation.
Yeah.
Be above it. Be above it.
Very good. So thank you all for watching. This has been a really eye-opening session for sure. They all are. And if you want to join me in Hamburg, Germany, you can go to my website, albaweinman.com. Go to the tab that says events, and you will find it there. If you would like a session with me, you can go to albaweinman.com and sign up for a newsletter. It comes out once a month with the calendar of sessions. I'm not going to be doing as many this year because I'm going to be on the road. And Jill, where can they contact you?
Oh, if they want a session.
Yes,
Oh, thank you. www. jillcole.org.
that's it. So,
O-R-G.
so for our English, it's www. So you can go to jillcole.org, and Jill also does hypnosis sessions, so you can contact her. So thank you all for watching. Much love to you. Bye.